Days later, Sabina stood in the kitchen, stirring a pot of soup. The sweet aroma of the stew filled the house, but her mind was far away. She had been thinking about Benson's behavior lately, trying to make sense of it all. Her thoughts were interrupted by the sound of her phone buzzing on the counter. She quickly wiped her hands on a towel and picked up the phone. It was Jennifer. "Hello, Jennifer," Sabina said, her voice soft but curious. "Sabina," Jennifer said quickly, her tone urgent. "Please check your phone now. You need to see this." "Check my phone? What's going on?" Sabina asked, her heart starting to race. "Just check it," Jennifer replied before hanging up abruptly. Confused, Sabina ended the call and checked her phone. Her hands trembled as she opened the message Jennifer had sent her. It was a picture. Her heart sank as she stared at the image. There was Benson, her husband, sitting at a fancy restaurant with a beautiful young woman. They were smiling at each other, and Benson was holding her hand across the table. "No," Sabina whispered, shaking her head. Her chest felt tight, and her breathing quickened. "This can't be real." Without thinking, she dialed Jennifer's number. Her hands were shaking so much she almost dropped the phone. Jennifer picked up on the first ring. "Sabina," she said softly. "Jennifer, who is this woman?" Sabina asked, her voice trembling. "Why is Benson with her?" Jennifer sighed. "Sabina girl, no be small thing oh. I saw them with my own 2 eyes." Sabina clutched the phone tightly. "You saw them? When? Where?" Jennifer began to explain. "A few days ago, Kelvin, my fiancé, and I were at the mall. We were shopping when I suddenly saw Benson. He was with this lady, the one in the picture. Her name is Toyosi." "Toyosi?" Sabina repeated, her voice breaking. "Yes," Jennifer continued. "Kelvin recognized Benson because they knew each other from university. He even went up to greet him. Sabina, do you know what Benson did?" "What did he do?" Sabina asked, her heart pounding. "He introduced Toyosi to Kelvin as the love of his life," Jennifer said, her voice filled with disbelief. "Can you imagine? He didn't even mention you or the kids. He acted like you didn't exist." Sabina gasped, tears filling her eyes. No, this can't be true. Are you sure, Jennifer?" "Sabina, I was shocked too," Jennifer said. "After Kelvin told me what Benson said, I had to tell him the truth. I told him Benson is married to you and has 2 children. Kelvin was surprised. He said Benson didn't act like a married man at all." Sabina leaned against the kitchen counter, her legs feeling weak. "Jennifer, this is too much. I don't understand. Why would he do this to me?" Jennifer's voice softened. "Sabina, it gets worse. Kelvin did some digging for me. He found out that Benson bought a house and a car for Toyosi. Can you imagine? A house and a car, Sabina. Meanwhile, he has never even bought you a good phone." Sabina felt like the ground was spinning beneath her. She held her chest, trying to catch her breath. "Jennifer, are you serious? A house and a car? For another woman?" "Yes, my dear," Jennifer said sadly. "I'm so sorry to tell you this, but you needed to know the truth." Sabina burst into tears, her sobs echoing through the kitchen. She slid down to the floor, clutching the phone as if it could somehow make the pain go away. "Jennifer, what do I do?" she cried. "How do I face him? How do I ask him about this?" Jennifer's voice was filled with concern. "Sabina, you need to be strong. Don't confront him just yet. Let me find out more about Toyosi first. I'll try to get her address and let you know." "Okay," Sabina said weakly, wiping her tears. "Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for telling me the truth." "I'm here for you, Sabina," Jennifer said gently. "You don't deserve this. Benson doesn't deserve someone as kind and patient as you. Just stay strong for now, okay?" Sabina nodded, though Jennifer couldn't see her. "Okay," she whispered. After hanging up the phone, Sabina sat on the floor for a long time, staring blankly at the wall. Her mind was a storm of emotions: anger, sadness, betrayal, and confusion. Now she understood why Benson had been treating her so badly, why he had stopped coming home regularly, why he refused to provide for the family. All his money, all his attention, was going to Toyosi. Sabina buried her face in her hands and wept. The pain was too much to bear. "Why, Benson?" she whispered through her tears. "Why are you doing this to me?" The sound of small footsteps brought her back to reality. She looked up to see Anita and Joseph standing in the doorway, their faces filled with worry. "Mummy, are you okay?" Anita asked softly, holding her brother's hand. Sabina quickly wiped her tears and forced a smile. "I'm fine, my loves. Don't worry about me." "But Mummy, you're crying," Joseph said, stepping closer to her. Sabina opened her arms, and the children ran to her, wrapping their small arms around her. "I'm okay," she said again, hugging them tightly. "Mummy is just tired." "Don't cry, Mummy," Anita said. "We love you." "I love you too," Sabina whispered, her voice breaking. "You're the reason I keep going." She held them for a long time, drawing strength from their innocence and love. That night, after putting the children to bed, Sabina sat alone in the living room, staring at the picture of Benson and Toyosi on her phone. Her tears had dried, but the pain in her chest remained. She thought about all the years she had spent with Benson, the sacrifices she had made, the dreams she had given up, all for the sake of their family. And now, he had thrown it all away for another woman. Sabina clenched her fists, anger bubbling up inside her. "I can't let him get away with this," she said to herself. "I have to confront him. But how?" She paced the room, thinking of different ways to bring up the topic. But no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't figure out the right approach. She was afraid of how Benson would react. Finally, she sank into the couch, exhausted. "God, please help me," she whispered. "Show me what to do. I can't do this alone." As the house grew quiet, Sabina closed her eyes and tried to calm her mind. She didn't know what the future held, but she promised herself one thing: she would fight for her dignity and for the happiness of her children. Days passed, and Sabina acted as though nothing had happened. She carried on with her daily routine, cooking, cleaning, and taking care of Anita and Joseph. Benson, as usual, came and went as he pleased, ignoring his responsibilities. Sabina never brought up Toyosi or the picture Jennifer had sent her. She kept her pain bottled up, waiting patiently for Jennifer to gather more information. She didn't want Benson to suspect anything. If she confronted him without a plan, she knew he would deny everything and twist the situation to make her look like the bad one. So, she stayed calm, though her heart burned with anger and betrayal. One evening, as she sat in the living room folding clothes, her phone beeped. It was a message from Jennifer. Sabina quickly picked up her phone and opened the message. It was a WhatsApp text with a location and a short note from Jennifer. "Sabina, this is Toyosi's address. Be careful." Sabina stared at the message for a long time. She smiled slightly and replied, "Thank you, Jennifer. I owe you so much." Jennifer replied almost immediately, "You're my friend, Sabina. Just be careful, and let me know if you need me." Sabina put her phone down and walked into her bedroom. She sat on the edge of the bed, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. Her mind raced with thoughts. What was she going to do with this information? Should she go to Toyosi's house and confront her? Or should she wait and confront Benson first? Before she could decide, she heard the door open. Benson walked into the room, looking irritated as usual. "Sabina," he said sharply, "is food ready? I'm hungry." Sabina looked up at him, her expression calm but cold. "There's no food," she said simply. Benson frowned, stepping closer to her. "What do you mean there's no food? This is my house. I have every right to ask for food. Sabina let out a small, mocking laugh. She looked him straight in the eye and said, "Go and eat sand, Benson." Benson's eyes widened in shock. "What did you just say to me?" he shouted, his voice echoing through the room. Sabina stood up, her voice steady and firm. "You heard me? You didn't drop any money before leaving this house, and now you're demanding food? Go and eat sand." Benson's face turned red with anger. "Sabina, don't you dare talk to me like that. I am your husband, and this is my house." Sabina laughed again, shaking her head. "Husband? You're nothing but a selfish, useless man. You don't care about me or the kids, but you want to sit here and act like you're in charge? Benson, go and eat sand." With that, she walked out of the room, leaving Benson standing there, fuming. He yelled after her, calling her names and cursing, but Sabina didn't look back. That night, Sabina didn't return to the bedroom. Instead, she slept in the guest room. She lay awake for hours, staring at the ceiling and thinking about her next move. She had Toyosi's address now, but what would she do with it? She didn't want to act out of anger and make a mistake. "God, please guide me," she whispered into the darkness. "I can't let Benson keep treating me like this, but I need your help to know what to do." The next morning, Sabina woke up early. She cleaned the house, made breakfast for Anita and Joseph, and got them dressed. She didn't want them to notice that anything was wrong. "Anita, Joseph," she said as they sat at the dining table eating. "After breakfast, we're going out." "Where are we going, Mummy?" Anita asked, her eyes bright with curiosity. "We're going to visit Auntie Jennifer," Sabina replied with a smile. "Yay!" Joseph cheered. "I like Auntie Jennifer. She gives us biscuits." Sabina laughed softly, but inside, her heart was heavy. She was about to take a step that could change everything, and she wasn't sure what would happen next. As she packed a small bag for the children, Benson came downstairs. He was dressed for work and looked at Sabina suspiciously. "Where are you going with the kids?" he asked, his tone sharp. Sabina didn't answer. She zipped up the bag, picked it up, and called to the children. "Anita, Joseph, let's go." Benson stepped in front of her, blocking the door. "Sabina, I asked you a question. Where are you going with my children?" Sabina looked at him calmly, her expression unreadable. "Move out of the way, Benson," she said firmly. "Answer me first," Benson demanded. Sabina didn't say another word. She stepped around him and opened the door. Anita and Joseph followed her, holding hands. "Sabina!" Benson shouted, but she didn't look back. When they arrived at Jennifer's house, Jennifer greeted them warmly. "Sabina, Anita, Joseph, welcome," she said, hugging them one by one. "Auntie Jennifer," Anita and Joseph said happily, running into the house. Sabina smiled weakly and handed Jennifer the small bag she had packed. "Thank you for watching them," she said. Jennifer placed a hand on her shoulder. "Are you sure about this, Sabina?" "I have to do this, Jennifer," Sabina replied. "I need answers. I can't keep living like this." Jennifer nodded, her face serious. "Be careful, Sabina. If anything goes wrong, call me immediately. Kelvin and I will come to help." "I will," Sabina promised. "Thank you, Jennifer. You've done so much for me already." Jennifer hugged her tightly. "You're my friend. I'll always be here for you." As Sabina left Jennifer's house, she felt a mixture of fear and determination. She didn't know what would happen when she went to Toyosi's house, but she was ready to face whatever awaited her. "This is for my children," she told herself. "They deserve better than this."